Hey folks, welcome back to this week's EXMO Crypto News Roundup. And in this one, we have 5 different news topics to break down for you in an easily digestible manner, ranging from regulations to crackdowns and much more. So while you're watching this video, if you like it and want to get caught up to speed in similar episodes in the future, then be sure to subscribe to EXMO's channel to catch future roundups. Now, let's take a look at the first piece of news. So one of our favorite figureheads in crypto, John McAfee, has been caught by the DOJ and arrested in Spain for tax evasion. And to add insult to injury, the US SEC has filed suit against him for promoting ICOs. Back in the day, remember, when he would shill a lot of ICOs on his Twitter feed without disclosing that the issuers were paying him. And so they said that he got millions in 2018 by recommending at least 7 ICOs to his Twitter followers. And so this is going to be more trouble and insult to injury for John McAfee, and we'll see if he's able to get out of it. But it looks like he's dug himself a pretty deep hole, and his wild days of just running from the authorities and being that staunch libertarian might be over for now. And on a similar note, if you guys haven't heard, Bitmex's senior team just got indicted, 4 of them actually, by government officials in New York, saying that there's a lot of complex money laundering and financial crimes that they've helped enable and that they've broken as a platform and institution, especially since they have a reputation for being very relaxed in terms of KYC and AML procedures. And they do have a very complex corporate structure in the Seychelles with offices in Hong Kong and New York. One of their top brass has been already arrested, but I believe Arthur Hayes hasn't yet. Their CEO is still in Hong Kong, hoping that they don't allow him to be extradited, for example. And so that's really interesting, and the future of Bitmex is uncertain. Even though all these news has broke and they've initiated the action against those top brass, the platform is still operating seamlessly right now and hasn't affected any crypto market price as of right now. Next up, number 3 is some news from the UK about how their FCA has banned retail crypto derivatives after a year-long consideration. And so what that means is that things like options, futures, and exchange-traded notes, or ETNs, will not be allowed anymore. And this is going to come down into effect in January 6, 2021. And they basically said that it causes a lot of harm to retail consumers, and there's no real market need for having such products. The FCA claimed that it will save around $62.5 million for retail consumers, presumably because of potential trading losses. And this is a big hit for CoinShares because they mounted a campaign to kind of pitch the regulators to abandon its plans, because CoinShares offers ETNs and other types of these derivative products aimed at the traditional markets. Next up, some better news, and some very interesting one that I just heard about today is that Atari, the video game maker, is going to have a public token sale soon in November. They will have an ERC20 based Atari token, and this will be launched at Bitcoin.com exchange. Interesting to see that they are partaking in this. And the CEO, Fred Chesnai, said that it could take only a second, could be an hour, but they're going to look to set the hard cap and their exact raise details soon. And so far, they've raised $1.5 million in private rounds, and they're looking to integrate heavy with DeFi use cases as well, especially with game financing, which potentially could let you fund new games in exchange for a portion of its future revenues. And they are a giant in this gaming space, so it's very bullish to see them enter the tokenization realm as well. And while Atari is publicly listed, the token offering is going to be conducted through a Gibraltar-based entity in which it owns a 50% stake. And the token offering page on Bitcoin.com will launch on October 15th. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in the Atari token. But I believe they do have the standard restrictions in terms of which countries it will be open and not open to. Last but not least, a piece of news more on the blockchain side rather than tokens or crypto. The Thai central bank issued $1.6 billion in government bonds on the IBM blockchain system and platform. So that's very interesting. And this government has been doing a lot in this space. Remember, they launched a pilot test for their own CBDC, the digital bot, to test with large-scale enterprises. And they also wanted to use digital currency to transact with Hong Kong's monetary institutions and authority. And so they are pursuing a lot of this, the Bank of Thailand, and it's awesome that they want to settle these bonds so that they can reduce the issuance time from 15 days down just to 2 days. Definitely more efficient, and hopefully they can find some long-term use cases for long-term adoption in this space. All right, so those are the 5 topics. Like I said earlier, in all of these EXMO news roundups, we're going to break down 5 interesting topics for you. So if you want to get caught up to speed about just the most interesting topics that we handpick for you, then be sure to catch future episodes by subscribing down below. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch y'all next time.